Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking. Magandang gabi po, Pilipinas. Good evening to everybody eavesdropping, watching from different parts of the world, mga kababayan po natin. Meron po akong audience dito sa aking tahanan, ang aking kapatid, Congresswoman Maria Fe Abunda, Romerica Abunda. That's my mother over there. Andito rin po ang aking partner si Bong Quintana. Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta. And if you're not subscribed yet to this channel, please subscribe to the Boy Abunda Talk channel. And good evening once again, and welcome to the interviewer, my very special guest for tonight. Is somebody very special. She's a dear friend. She is one of the finest young actresses in this country, adventurous artist, risque. She's not afraid. And I'm so excited because it's just absolutely madness to keep track of what's going to happen to her and her career in the next few months. Mga kaibigan, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Nadine Lustre.
Hi everyone! Hi Tito Boy!
Miss you. Tagal natin
I miss
hindi
you.
nakita.
So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Isn't that absolutely madness?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Nads, kumusta?
I'm good, Tito Boy. So many things going on, but at the same time, I think it's where my head's at right now. I'm just ready to receive.
Okay.
So I'm just excited for whatever will come.
I think that should be the attitude, no? Parati ko sinasabi dati, it was so easy to answer. Kumusta ka? I'm good, I'm fine. Pero ngayon talaga, in the middle of the pandemic, so much has changed na parang napapaisip ka, what was it today? How am I today? Di ba?
Yeah, I think it's also the pandemic, Tito Boy, that kind of shift how I saw everything. I've become more appreciative of a lot of stuff. And, I stopped taking a lot of things for granted at the same time because you really start to appreciate the things that you can't do anymore because of what is going on.
Tama ka dyan. And then you also learn to appreciate the now because that's all we have, to seize that moment. I continue to learn that life is about a series of present moments.
Yes.
I like what you said na hindi na tayo masyado nag-worry kung anong darating because let's take care of what we have. Like now is all we have. So one of the great lessons, I think, of the pandemic.
Yeah, be present.
Yeah, I like that. Because because when you're present, you become mindful of that space, of that moment, of your now. Diba?
Yeah.
Okay. Nads, certainly you don't look 27. But at 27, Nads, what do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? Well, I know that, everything's going to be okay and that I should just live life to the fullest and not worry about anything. Just, I'm ready to accept whatever life is going to put on my hands. So, I don't know, Tito Boy, it's just a lot of things that happened, a lot of shifting that happened through, the past couple of months and weeks as well. It's just a lot. And how I see life is totally different now.
Totoo. How different is it? What was it before? Ano na yan ngayon?
Yeah, because before, Tito Boy, you know how I would tell you before, and I would get anxiety over nothing. I would worry about what's gonna happen in the future. I'm always I'm always overthinking. But now it's more of just me being more accepting and just accepting whatever outcome or whatever happens, and just parang that it is what it is. It's life, and be okay with it.
Kanina sabi mo nga, because of the pandemic, you know that it's going to be over, that everything is going to be okay. In another word, it is what hope is all about. Palagay ko, pag itinutulak tayo, when we're pushed against, something that really totally stops us, you have the choice to react there. And you and I think we're choosing to react and to believe that everything will be okay, that this too shall pass.
Yes,
diba?
Exactly.
And then accepting is a powerful word.
Yeah.
Kung ano bigay sa akin sa kamay ko ng halimbawa Panginoon, the great divine, and I'll work around it. And then
Yeah.
I'm really happy because, as I said, how are you, Nads? Happy. Where is it
Yeah.
coming from? Where is it? Where is that happiness coming from? Uh,
I guess Tito Boy is just, like I've picked up a lot of stuff over the past couple of weeks lang, and a lot of shifting. I've done a lot of shifting in my life, let go of a lot of things. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just full. Like when people ask me now like how I'm doing, I always say I don't say good, I say I'm full. And I'm just ready to live life to the fullest.
I hear you. Ganda.
Yeah.
Oo, because when you're full, ako ang dating sa akin, yeah, I'm full. And I'm not necessarily saying it's all good, but
Yeah.
it's so much bravery that I embrace radical acceptance. Sabi nga ni Gaga, ni Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
di ba?
Yeah.
To
Also,
radically
just
accept.
allowing yourself to experience life. Like, may it
Yeah,
be, whatever challenge, or it could be like a tragedy or whatever. Because I believe, Tito Boy, that whatever happens in our life, it was meant to happen for us to, pick up lessons and grow as
tama.
people.
No, you said you had to let go of a lot of things. Did you also, alam ko marami pong nanonood, this has nothing to do with James. Did you also have to let go of people? Hindi, kasi baka isipin ka agad. I want you to know, guys, that James is a very good friend of mine. I mean, Nadine is a good friend of mine. And did you also have to let go of people? Kasi meron eh. Not everybody who is around us contributes to your growth
Yes.
or to your positivity. During this time of the pandemic, did you have enough courage, to I don't want to say cancel or edit, but to let go?
I think, Tito Boy, it's not really what do you call it? It's not really like letting go of people. It's more of just learning to say no and
Okay.
understanding what it is that's beneficial for you and the things that don't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
If this person isn't really, this person is making you feel a type of way, then why should you hang out with that person? Diba? If you're not benefiting from that person, then there's no need for this energy exchange, because energy is a currency, and being that it is a currency, it runs out. So the more you try and give out your energy to different people and you don't get anything back, madideplete ka of your energy.
Okay.
So I'm always just at home meditating, working out, just I found my peace.
Minding yourself, tending to yourself, making sure that, sabi nga ni Aling Opera, making sure that your cup runneth over so that you can share with others.
Yes.
Easier said than done. Tama yun. Like when there are people who are just so negative and they try to
Mm,
bring you down, ang hirap nun. And
yeah.
saying no, lalo na sa kultura natin,
Yes.
can be misinterpreted.
Mm,
But it
yeah.
takes a lot of power to be able to say no to the things that don't make you feel good and happy, di ba? I'm so glad we did this conversation. Pero let's talk about, we're talking about happiness, we're talking about power. Let's talk about SOCMED, because I know in one of our conversations, when we were doing our contest,
Yeah.
um, naaalala mo, Nats, you told me once, I don't know, it was a conversation. I said, Tito Boy, I'm going to go on, my term ka na ginamit, social media break, drought,
Yeah.
whatever. How do you,
Uh, Hiatus.
hiatus, di ba?
Social
Parang,
media hiatus.
talk about it. Ang social media ba para sa'yo, Nadine, is it a toxic hell or is it a happy place? How do you view social media now?
Well, now, Tito Boy, it's definitely changed. I know that a lot of people follow me, and a lot of people take inspiration, like I take inspiration from other artists as well, and other creatives on social media. I mean, it's the same thing. So as much as possible, like I don't really deal with the toxicity of it. It is very toxic, I must admit. Like, there's so many people just throwing hate and just saying whatever they want just to bring other people down. And at the same time, I guess it's part of it, because it is balance. There are people who are so good on social. They just want to help. They love reaching out, they love posting, like, just making other people aware with whatever is going on. And at the same time, there are also people that just want to, just want to hate on someone. So there's a fine balance to it. And, just understanding that is, well, it's inevitable. It really happens. But me kasi, Tito Boy, I don't, like when I share on social media, it's stuff that I want to share, and it's stuff that I know that my followers would benefit. Something to inspire them, something that kind of what do you call it? Start that spark and like to make them creative or something.
Right. When we were doing your moment, what brought you to that stage when you said you took a break, that hiatus?
Yeah.
What brought you there? Toxicity, the
Yeah.
hate? Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of different things, Tito Boy. And then at that time, I would say that I don't really have, the courage and the strength to deal with it, because before talaga, every time I would see comments or, messages from random people talking about, like, talking about my family, friends, people who are close to me, it really hurts me, because if it's about me, like, I don't really care. You can say whatever you want to me, but if it's, people that I care about, people that I love, that's a different story. So it got to that point, and then I just couldn't handle it then.
I know, but when you take a break, how long is that? 3 days, a week, 2 days,
It
4 days?
depends. I
You would
could
know.
go off.
Okay.
I can actually survive without social media,
I
surprisingly.
believe you.
But I
No, I
have to
believe
do
you.
it because it's part of my work. But
No, correct.
yeah,
And
I
you owe it to
guess
your fans. You owe it to
weeks.
your followers because that's the connection. That's
Yes.
that's how you connect with them, diba? Mhm.
Yes, I totally agree. And especially now, Tito Boy, that, I mean, not everyone is stuck at home, but then at the same time, there are no events, there are no concerts, there's nothing. So I feel like this is my way of giving back to them and making them feel like, oh, hey, I still remember you all and I still love you all,
Right.
and it's also us supporting each other, because it's a difficult time, like it really challenges our mental health, because no one's seeing each other. Like, we're not allowed to have, like, we're not allowed to hug, we're not allowed to kiss, even shake hands, and it really takes away, it dehumanizes a lot of people. And so, yeah, I feel like it is what I wanted to share to everyone, and it is something that I can contribute.
That's right. After all this, and this is going to be over, if you're allowed to hug or kiss someone, sino ang una mong hahalikan at ihahag?
My family.
Of course. No, but I understand also that the platforms are there because that allows you for the engagement to continue, the conversation to continue, because we cannot isolate ourselves sa mga
Yes.
panahong ito, di ba? We need to be engaged. We need to be mindful of ourselves, and by doing so, we're being mindful of others.
Yes.
Yun lang yan. I know in one interview you're quoted to have said, it's okay not to be okay. Anong
Yes.
context nun? I mean, can you take me there?
Well, Tito Boy, kasi in our, I guess, in the industry, when my brother passed away, it was hard. It was really tough, a tough time for me, because I felt like I had to wear a mask the whole time, because I was on, like, I was doing shows, I did more shows and all of that. So I was out all the time pretty much. And then it was so hard, like, putting a smile on my face,
Mm.
even though I know that inside, I was really hurting. And one thing that I realized after that happened is that it's, you're human, like, and you're supposed to feel. We're supposed to have emotions, and I learned that whatever it is that I'm going through, I shouldn't be ashamed of what it is. Diba? I feel like, I believe that it's also empowering to see someone, go through something, because you see this person going through like a really tough challenge in their life and getting through it. It's very empowering, and it kind of inspires you as well.
Yeah. And also the pressure to be okay comes from the outside. It's external. You have to be
Yes.
okay. You have to be pretty. You have to be strong. So I
Yes.
think why does this resonate to many of us is the message is very clear. It's okay, malungkot. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay pag nasasaktan ka, because we are all going through whatever that, So, when I was reading that article and you were saying it's okay not to be okay, it's actually a very powerful message to a lot of people, to so many people that, pagkagising mo, alam mo na, there are days now, I must admit, you wake up, you just feel so low. Walang
Yeah.
dahilan. Parang, ano ba to? I can't even move. I can't go to my desk. I can't even go to, parang may, sige, ayokong pilitin, but minsan I go to the opposite direction. Ayoko, sige, I'll go. But when people hear these stories na, ganun pala pinagdadaanan nila, so it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel sad. Minsan wala kang dahilan eh. Parang, what
Yeah.
is this? Di ba? And it's nice to talk to people who have similar experiences.
Yeah, totally agree, Tito Boy. And as human beings, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to feel, we're supposed to experience life as it is and whatever, it's going to give us.
Right.
So just accept it because it's part of it.
And part of the discussion also, lalo na nung nag-uumpisa pa lamang yung pandemic, Nads, was, I had a conversation with my doctor, one of my doctors, Dr. Demere, and we talked about anticipatory grief. That we grieve about things that are not there yet. And, we anticipate, born out of fear, takot. So we anticipate that kind of a feeling, which is not real because it's in the future. I mean, it's not going to happen. So sabi ko, how do you attack that? Sabi niya, identify 5 things in front of you. I have a computer, I have Nadine in front of me, I have an I have a painting, I have an artwork here, I have my light, and they're okay. They're okay. Nothing is wrong with them. So if I have 5 things that are okay, I'm good. I'm okay.
Yes.
As opposed to, nako, baka, when you anticipate the grief.
And also, Tito Boy, law of attraction is true, huh? That's a real thing.
Tama.
So the
Right.
more the more you anticipate, the more you attract that energy into your life. So
You invite
the
that.
more, yeah, it's kind of like you're manifesting it na. So, my friend's tita actually told me, because she does what do you call it? She does like guiding. She's a life coach as well. So she told me that if there are thoughts in your head that you cannot control, because I'm an overthinker and like my anxiety was really bad.
Same here.
So she said that every time a thought comes into your head, always just say pokpod, point of creation, point of destruction. And then just keep repeating it, pokpod, pokpod, and then eventually it cuts the thought.
Okay, I'll tell you something. In public speaking, we are taught that you can change your mind. You have the power to change your mindset. And you have the power to change your frame of reference. Halimbawa, maraming tao halimbawa natatakot magsalita in front of a public because what they remember was a graded recitation in high school when they were embarrassed because they didn't do well. So it's stuck to the mind. Every time they're asked to do a public speaking engagement, they remember that bad experience, when in fact, you can change that with a happy experience. Remember when you recited a poem and everybody applauded. So you change that mindset. You can change your mind. And we have the power. I love that whole idea that you have the power to change your mind, actually.
Yeah.
In your interviews in the past, Nads, you would talk about one day I'm okay to have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Today, I read about it, but today, now, when you're asked, you say none, and then you proceed to talk about adoption. Talk about it.
I just think, Tito Boy, that there's so many kids like all over the world that don't really have, I guess, like people to look up to, parents, people who would love them, and I feel like it's just for me the best way to do and the best way to contribute, because I've been watching a lot of documentaries, and like overpopulation is one of, well, it's the number one issue of the planet. And so I don't want to contribute to that problem, but I do want to be a solution. So wala lang, naisip ko lang, it's more sustainable to just adopt. And syempre naman, Tito Boy, like imagine like a kid growing up with no parents. That breaks your heart, diba?
Okay.
So as much as possible, I just wanted to help.
I totally respect that. But am I to interpret that you're still open about this? Because, of course, you have to talk about this decision with your future husband. You know,
Yeah.
it's something that you guys would talk about. Or
Yeah.
is this a deal breaker with, the man that you would love for the rest of your
Yeah.
life?
I mean, I honestly, Tito Boy, right now, this is where my head's at. Like 2 years ago or like a year ago before the pandemic, my head was somewhere else. I wanted kids. I
Wow.
wanted 2 kids.
Okay.
But because, my head keeps changing. So I don't know. Maybe it'll change again.
You
In a couple
evolve.
of
You always
years, we'll
evolve.
see.
Yeah. Okay, Nats, punta naman tayo dito sa madalas sa pinag-uusapan ng public figures, hindi lamang dito sa Pilipinas, pero sa buong mundo. The debate between being public and private. For a public figure, being one of the hottest stars, you went through the good and the bad. Alam natin yan, napanood natin yan. My question, Nats, is what did you lose when you made it in the fame business?
Ooh, that's a tough question, Tito Boy. I would say a lot because when I was climbing, it was it was all just yeses. I didn't know how to say no, and eventually it took a toll on my mental health. Um, I was lost. I didn't know who I was. I had an identity crisis. A lot of stuff happened, but I guess Tito Boy kasi like I'm one of the lucky ones that had, the right support system. So I kind of I kind of fixed that issue. But then again, I don't believe kasi Tito Boy that I've lost anything because I was meant to go through it.
All right.
That was a part of my journey.
I get it.
Had I chosen a different path, I wouldn't be here. I would be
Mm.
someone else. We wouldn't be talking. So
Right.
whatever it is that happened through the years, it's not something na parang hindi ako nagre-regret or I don't feel like I lost anything. I feel like I've gained because I've learned so much from it.
When you talk about your mental health issues in the past, Nads, when you talk about depression, at that point, did you go for professional help? Would you encourage people who are going through depressive moments or mental health issues to seek professional help?
Yes, Tito Boy. Because even my sister is going through it and she's very young. She's 14. And for the new generation, for that generation to be going through it, it's really a serious issue. But before kasi Tito Boy, I didn't seek help because that was a time when like my career was really soaring and then ako mismo, I didn't want to accept that I was going through something that I couldn't handle. So I didn't. And eventually like it almost broke me. But then, thankfully, what I said earlier, good support system. But then again, not everyone is lucky.
Right.
That's why,
Are you talking about professional intervention that you went for?
it really depends, Tito Boy, on the situation because there are and I've met a couple of them. I still haven't gone through professional help, but I have all of my friends and my family
The support system.
the support system talaga. But there are people kasi Tito Boy na who aren't lucky. So I've come across a couple of people who are in that line of business, and it's really just it's such a simple thing. Like what they pretty much do is just listen. It was so amazing because this one psychometrician that I that guested in our Kumu show, he said this it was so simple lang talaga. The solution is just to listen and to like give advice, but mainly people just need someone to listen.
Right. And that's very important. Again, not very easy to do,
Yes.
but you really have to listen. My point here is, I don't know if this is making sense to a lot of people, pero sana lamang pagtuunan ng pansin ang mental health issues dahil,
Yes, I
I would say hear of people who would say, anong mental health? Wala na nga tayong hirap-hirap na nga ng buhay. Malungkot ka lang. Ano ba? I'd like to encourage people to be more sensitive, to take a closer look at their loved ones, that when someone asks for help, Listen. I like that. Listen. Don't dismiss it because it is real, and mental health is something that is just as important as physical health.
Yeah.
Ah, di ba? Yung physical
Yes.
health, pinagtutuunan natin pag masakit ang tiyan mo, o kaya masakit ang ulo mo. But pag sinabi ng, something's happening to me, etc., there are still people and there are still times when this is dismissed. And that's sad.
Yes.
And this is the importance of this conversation because we are validating mental health issues.
Yes.
Di ba? Let's talk about, baka kung saan tayo mawala, let's talk about absolute man. Now, I'm just so excited about this project.
Thank you, Tito Boy.
It's described as a sonic and visual experience. So talk about your concept, Absolute Madness.
Yes. Well, Tito Boy, I guess it's one of the first in the Philippines because it's a mixture of theater and concert. So there's a bit of acting.
And digital. Talaga?
Yeah,
That's it.
there's a bit of acting in it, and because Direk Menchung as a director, she's actually
The
the
first
one
lady
who
of Philippine theater.
yeah, she's I love her. I love working with her. She's actually the one who wrote the script, and it's just amazing working with her. And what I love about Direct Menchu is that, like, what's most important to her is that the story is authentic to me. So every time, like, there's a line, and then I ask her, like, Direct, is it okay if I revise this? She's like, go ahead, dear. Like, the only thing that's important to me is that this is your story, and it has to be authentic to you.
Okay, so
And
there's a
it's
bit of
just
acting, there's
there's a
music,
bit of
there's
acting.
dancing.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of it, all of it, Tito Boy.
Galing, no? I mean, looking forward to this because I don't think something like this has been done. And this is digital, it's theater, it's the concert stage, it's
Yeah,
the
it's the new
amalgamation
concert
of
stage.
many. It's the new.
Yeah, the new normal concert stage.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
long is this concert? How many songs are you doing? How many dances are you doing? I mean, in terms of the format, I can imagine
Secret.
I can secret, but okay.
Secret Tito Boy. No, but really, I would love everyone to watch this just because, there's a lot of truth in it.
Okay.
With how it was written, with the story, and what I am going through in the story is, I know that a lot of people will pick up a lot, like, will pick up lessons from it. And, like, even while reading the script, it really, like, tugs my heartstrings. Like, naiiyak talaga ako. Especially, there's one kasi section there where it's about acceptance. So that's one of the things that is tough to, like, acceptance. That's hard to accept. Like, I mean, hirap yan to condition yourself into that. So yeah, it's
So I
giving
can
me
imagine
goosebumps just
that
talking about it.
I can imagine that the whole village is behind you here because what people don't realize is that you have Menchu and so many other people involved in putting up this. How do you call that? How do you label Absolute Madness? It's what?
It's an experience.
It's an experience. It's a
Yeah.
sonic and visual experience. So there'll be music, there'll be dance. Nagkagulo kasi ang tao, the netizens, when you came out with, was it a video? Some days ago? Galing, was it a teaser?
I
I
think,
saw
yeah, the teaser. It was more of photos, BJ's
it was a
photos. Kasi
photo, right?
yeah, it's,
Galing.
it's very daring kasi, and it's something different talaga.
And you
So
collaborated with BJ Pascual.
yes, for the photos.
Okay, so how do people watch this? I mean, do I buy a ticket? Where do I
Yeah.
go to get tickets,
The,
etc.?
the tickets are actually available at Kumu Live. So Kumu Live, Tito Boy, it's this new platform that Kumu came up with, and it's really grateful for Kumu because now that artists like me have an avenue to perform in. They actually launched a couple of months ago, and their first artists that performed was Ben and Ben, and just really excited because at least this time around, like, we still can't do live shows, so
Okay.
at least in a way we can do shows for everyone else. Like, we get to do meet and greets as well, which is amazing. Yeah. links are up on our social media accounts, on Careless's social media accounts. It's all
Okay,
there.
right.
Yeah.
No, what I wanted to say is thank you to Kumu because I have a show on Kumu, and thank you for platforms like Kumu, and thank you to Kumu, which is allowing us to do so much.
Yes.
Um, Actually, just the other day, I was talking to somebody and I said, I'd like to be able to teach. I'd like to be able to do a webinar on Kumu. It's so versatile that
Yes.
you can find so much on
Mhm.
the platform. And there are different kinds of tickets, di ba? Parang you pay 499 and then you get this, and then 1,999, and then there's a backstage something. Please talk
Yeah.
about it, Nadine.
There's Gen Ad Tito Boy, and then there's VIP that has perks, of course. And
Yeah,
then there's the VVIP, which has, the meet and greet and T-shirts as well. Happy to know that, a lot of the fans abroad are actually purchasing the VVIP. Even though, I'm sure that they all miss, just watching a live
right.
show, and I missed all of them. So I'm pretty sure they're all excited. And what's good, I guess, and what's tough about the concert is that we're only gonna do it once. There's no repeat. So for all of our fans who bought the tickets abroad, really, really thankful because I know that you guys are gonna sacrifice and stay up for this. So yeah, I'm just really thankful, Tito
Yeah,
Boy.
and that's going to happen July
July
3.
3, 7
Okay,
p.m.
that's 7 p.m. Philippine time.
Philippine
Don't
time.
forget, that's going to happen. Some people say it's hard to get into. Hindi po. Try it. Ako kasi, I had that attitude when you say, how do I get the ticket? Do I have to go through so many steps? No, it's not hard. It's not hard. You can actually get tickets. But the thing is, I'm getting a lot of feedback na hindi na po masyado marami ang tickets. So if you're interested, and please come to the concert of Nadine, you have to do it now, right after this conversation, so you can be part of this experience, as Nadine was saying. Okay? All right, but we're not over yet.
Yeah.
We're not over yet.
Keep
Okay.
coming, Tito Boy.
I know, I know. No, I wanted to talk about this because this is the elephant in the room. Okay, there are a lot of comments here. There are a lot of questions. Some fans and some of your followers are now asking questions. But here's one. Nasan si James sa buhay ni Nadine? But ilalatag ko lang ang context. Because you co-wrote Soda, and then to a certain extent, tama ba, careless music is involved in the concert, right?
Yes, of course,
Yes.
Tito
Okay.
Boy. Like, Careless
So
is the main reason why this concert is happening.
right. Okay. So I think, therefore, the question is valid because I was
Yes.
thinking about it. I don't want James not to talk to me forever. So
No, I mean, Tito Boy,
where is
like I,
James in your life, Nadine?
yeah, honestly, he's just been pushing me. Um, he's actually the one, like, what do you call it, lining up all the things, all of the projects for me, which I'm really grateful for, because like I wouldn't have done it without him, to be honest.
Okay. And then in one interview, you talked about moving on. You talked about healing in the
Yes.
context of your relationship. So in that context, nasaan kayo ni James? Are you
We're
friends?
still
Are you closer friends? Are you getting there? What's happening?
um I don't know how to answer that, Tito Boy. I guess it is what it is. And, we have supported each other immensely. Like, even though after, like, we're so close pa rin. But I guess it's best not to put a line onto it.
Right.
Yeah, we're happy. We're supporting each other. We're pushing each other. And I think there's no other, like, wala nang better answer than that, eh. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, obviously he's contributing to my growth, and in some way I am with his as well. And so that's the only thing that matters. Like, I honestly, because Dito Boy, like what I said earlier, my mindset has totally changed. So me, um, like, attachments and like ownerships to people, like, to me that doesn't exist anymore. If you want to love a person, just love them fully. It doesn't, like, you don't have to pick who you want to love, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, and that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to show love to everyone else.
Okay. Uh, I like that. You're not supposed to pick the one you're supposed to love. They just come and happen. They just come about in your life and happen. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, cause Tito Boy, like, why, diba? Like the what do you call it? How do I say it? The answer to everything is love. And us as human beings, I believe that that's what we're supposed to do, is to love one another, help one another. So, and then life is good. It's just
Okay.
I'm in a position, or I'm in a state where I'm not stopping myself from giving to people, because right now I feel so full, Tito Boy, and
Okay.
I'm just ready to give back to everyone.
Okay, I hear you, but I'd like to contextualize that because at one point in your lives, you and James, we had an announcement that you guys had separated. Okay,
Yeah.
so right now, I don't know what it is. Is it a mindset that your fans, me, or other people would say, so are they back? I mean, can exes actually be very good friends? Can they actually collaborate? Because your involvement is very close.
Yeah.
James is moving, is pushing you to do more, to achieve, inspiring you. So I don't blame people when they say, "Siyempre, Nads, you are loved, the both of you." And
Yeah.
say,
I
"Are they getting
understand.
back? Are they going to be together again?" I mean, how do you answer that? We'll leave it out there, no label. Are you seeing anybody? Is he seeing anyone?
I'm definitely not seeing any. I'm so busy, Tito Boy. I have no time. Plus, I really told myself that, I'm not, I just want to work on myself. I
No, but
want to grow
put
even
James
more.
into the equation. You're not going to see it for as long as Mr. Reid is there. Di ba? Mr. Reid is,
Tito Boy.
I should be asking Mr. Reid actually. No, but the question here is that you collaborated now on Soda, which is right. I didn't even figure that out. And then Careless Music is part of the production. Oo nga naman. But what I want to say naman then is we are so different from one another. There are people who don't make friends with their exes. There
Yeah.
are people who don't want even to mention the names of their former boyfriends or
Taboo.
girlfriends.
It's taboo.
Di ba? May ganon.
Yeah.
But, we are, Nadine and James are different. Uh, let's not even go there. Ako, because I see it. I really see it. And I also respect where you are right
Yeah.
now. I really respect where you are right now. It's enough that you guys are happy, you are
Yeah.
productive, di ba?
Yeah.
Creatively.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that is a beautiful thing, Like, I actually had it tattooed on my leg, Tito Boy, like last week.
That says,
It is what it is.
it is what it
It is
is.
what it is. Just accept. It is what
Yeah.
it is. And it's beautiful, It's just nothing complicated. It's just, we're all good. We're all happy. We're all growing. We're all
What if
learning.
what if uh James asking you
Hello,
to marry him is part of the it is what it is? What would you
the
say?
boy. I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about the tattoos. Interesting. Work of
Yeah.
art is a story of a person, and
Yes.
I've seen the tattoos. Even your tattoos are controversial.
Yeah, I know.
I remember I think an apostrophe
Yeah. They
was
were looking
omitted.
for the apostrophe.
But let's not even talk about that. I want to
Yeah.
talk. Uh, the guys who did the tattoo actually made a statement about it. I mean, the artistic license to it. Naiintindihan natin yun. But the tattoos that you have, if you were to combine all of them together and just put it into a couple of lines, what is that story of Nadine, according to the
Mahirap
tattoo?
naman yun, Tito Boy.
Kailangan isa-isahin from the moon to the
What is that
lotus.
story? I guess I would say a girl who's finding her own, who's finding herself, like going on a journey to becoming, um, I don't know, like just living her best life and just living life to the fullest. What else? Yeah, kasi Tito Boy, all of my tattoos are reminders of the things that I went through and the things that I see myself as, because my lotus, I have a lotus tattoo here, and it's a reminder that to me that whatever happens, no matter what challenge, whatever it is that comes my way, like it's just I can go through it. It's just fluff. Like I can
Yeah,
go through whatever. Kasi a lotus flower kasi Tito Boy, it grows from like the mud and then through the water and then up the surface.
that's true.
So it's a very what do you call it? Enlightening, I guess.
That's
Very
true.
yeah,
That you
enlightening
don't have
siya.
to come from diamonds or gold to bloom into a beautiful flower.
Yes.
Diba? And
Yeah.
also, one of your tattoos is your Japanese name. It's
Yeah,
really,
here. Kasi Tito
oh,
Boy, the story naman of this tattoo is because I think a couple of years back, I had a chat with my uncle and he was saying that we're actually Japanese. And my last name would have been Komiya if my great grandfather didn't change his last name to Lustre. So,
okay.
it's a nice story. I don't know if it's real. It doesn't matter. The fact that, it's something interesting and who knows? Who knows?
No, but I like the idea that you're so connected to your core, Nads.
Yeah.
That you're standing on the shoulders of, your ancestors or your grandparents.
Yes.
That's what Maya Angelou meant when she said, I come as one, I stand as 10,000. Because even as we talk now, we're not really alone. With
Yeah.
me, I stand on the shoulders of my nanay. I
Yes.
stand on the shoulders of my ancestors. They're brave. They're rooting for
Yes.
us. They're clapping proud. They're applauding us probably right
Yes.
now, and they're giving us a strength. And I like the way you connect with them or to them. At saka
Yeah.
nandiyan talaga yung kwento mo. And they're in your arms and legs, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
reminders of who you are and who you're connected to.
Yeah. On places that I can see because every time like I go through a challenge, Tito Boy, that's why I have on my left leg, it says it is what it is, and the other leg is that's it. Because every time I go through something and I start overthinking again, I can just look, I just can look at my leg and be like, oh yeah, it is what it is, and then I'll remember na okay, just accept what life has to offer.
I'm learning. I'm really learning. Totoo yun. Because pag may problema tayo, again, I learned it from the interview of Lady Gaga. You problem solve, which is really good. What is a
Yes.
problem? What are the possible solutions? And then she talks about going to the opposite direction.
I
She
love
talks
Lady
about,
Gaga, Tito Boy.
yeah, I do too. She talks about radical acceptance, etc. But we also have a tendency, I think that's part of our weakness. We paralyze ourselves by overanalysis and we overthink. So when you see a line like Nads, boy, or James, whatever, it is what it is. And it literally just tells you it is what it is. It's
It is what
happening.
it is.
Others would
Yeah.
say it's happening for a reason. It wouldn't have happened to you if it wasn't meant. It was given
Yes.
to you dahil kaya mo. So
Yes.
ang ganda nga, it directs your attention to again who you are, to your
Yeah.
core. Galing, galing. So I used to wonder why people would have tattoos until I would hear stories like this one. Nads, when was the last time you cried?
When was the last time I cried?
Or do
I
you
guess
do you ever cry? You do.
I do. I do. I can listen to a song and then after a couple of seconds, if I hear a line that's just because it's not always sad cry. Sometimes I cry because I'm happy,
Joy.
or
Right.
sometimes a song gets to you. Doesn't have to be sad
Right.
because it's something that just touches you. So the last time I cried, I can't remember. Oh, Tito Boy, probably. I'm not sure if this was the last time, but probably when I read the script for the concert, because there's a monologue there that's for my brother, and it
Oh.
was just so it was so on point.
Well, we're looking forward to that, guys.
Yes,
It's part
yes,
of Absolute Madness, and so there is a monologue. We're now getting pieces of what we can expect from the concert. There is theater, there is music, there is dance. So and there is magic,
yes,
certainly. Kasi may mga may mga iyak. When he's crying cathartic and when is it a waste? I know it's tough, no? But when is it cathartic and when is it foolish? Hard?
I don't know, Tito Boy,
Di ba?
because
Oo.
yeah, it's hard to tell. But then at the same time, like all of those tears, it it helps you become a stronger person. Like it doesn't matter if you're foolish, you're meant to be foolish at like
That's
that time.
sometimes it's
Diba? You
nice
were
to be
meant to
foolish.
go through that. Kasi how would you know that you were being foolish if you weren't?
Right. That's true. We're entertaining some questions from our viewers. Can we have the first question? I'm reading from my screen. What is the question? There. From Kylie Jr. Biggest challenge during this pandemic, Nads.
Of course, not really seeing everyone,
Oh,
not not being able to hang with everyone, especially with my parents because they're scared to go out. My mom is a cancer survivor and she's very reluctant to get the vaccine. So, and me kasi Tito Boy, I go to work. So, it's inevitable talaga. I go out. But thankfully, I still haven't gotten the virus. But yeah, I
I
still
mean,
have
praise
to be
God.
careful.
You
Yeah.
have to be safe. You have to be careful.
Yeah. Yep.
Pero
I'm really thankful.
meron ka ring resistance sa vaccine. Why is mom resisting to the idea of a vaccine? Would you know?
I think she's just scared. It's probably
Okay.
because of the movies that she watches.
All
I also watched I Am Legend for some reason like a couple of months ago, and after watching it, I'm like, but then
right. Okay.
I'm not closed off to the idea of getting a vaccine. It's just that right now, like I still haven't found like
Okay.
someone to give me the vaccine, so or to where
It
where
will
I can
happen.
get the vaccines.
It will happen. I am in the belief that a vaccine is better than anything. It's. Pero I was there also in that space where I had so much resistance to it. I wanted to go to the US because I'm hosting the Outstanding Filipinos in America in October, and I was trying to buy time. Sabi ko, I'm gonna go for whatever, Pfizer, Moderna in New York, where the thing is gonna happen, libre naman ang ticket.
Yeah.
But when the surge happened, like you, we have to work, we go out.
Yeah.
Not often, but I had to be careful. And it just happened. Somebody came to
Yes.
me, a friend of mine, and said, we have an available whatever. And I went for it.
Yeah.
So I know there are a lot of campaigns from the private sector and even government encouraging people to go for vaccines. I was just talking to Margot Torres of McDonald's. Bianca Gonzalez went for vaccination. Drew Arellano and Iya Villana, they went for vaccination also. But, just be safe, protect ourselves because
Yes.
it is necessary. Another question from our viewers, Nicolette Tahumar. What is your definition of
Wow
happiness?
naman. My definition of happiness, um, I guess just how do I answer that?
Yeah, I know. Hard.
My definition of happiness when I'm at peace. When
Nice.
I'm at peace and I'm
Because
not.
if you were to ask me Nadine now, I don't know. I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
don't know. I really, but I like the idea of connecting happiness to peace.
Yeah.
I like that. I'd like to think about it. Ganda.
Yeah.
Oo, yeah, oo. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
May
Peace.
katahimikan at,
Yes.
di ba?
You're just
Kapayapaan.
good. You're just okay.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Can we have the next one, please?
Ooh, this is
Maricar Atienza. Hi, Nadine. How are you dealing with the toxicity of social media, especially those people throwing lots of bad comments about you? How do you handle bashing? How do you handle, really harsh criticism?
yeah. I don't anymore, Tito Boy.
That's the
But
best way to do it.
sometimes talaga if it's really like hurting my friends or my family, I can't kasi ganun ako eh, like I defend the people I love, but lately just don't.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. It has become so noisy. It has become so chaotic out there. And I liked it. Kanina, when you said, I want to be part of the solution, I want to be part of the good space. Why
Yeah.
should I be dragged into the toxic place?
Yeah.
Tama. I heard you say that. Okay,
Yeah.
next, please. Marvin Bermilio from New Jersey. Thank you. Are you open? Are you open to dating a foreigner?
What
Well,
is
Mr.
this question?
I'm sorry, Mr. Reid is a is a Filipino for Australian, tama?
I'm
You have
not
to answer
I'm
that.
I'm not
Yeah,
looking
that
for
it is not.
anything. I'm not looking for anything, Tito Boy. It's just let's leave it at
Okay.
that. I'm really
Okay.
not.
That's
I'm
ako ang,
okay.
ako ang sumagot. But James, it's partly a foreign. Okay, next. Thank you for that. Julie Ann Bunao from Malilipot, Albay. Thank you. Ano pa ang isa sa mga gusto mong ma-achieve this year in terms of your personal life?
In terms of my personal life, hmm. Um, I don't know, maybe do business, Tito Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, business.
You
Because
have
I
your
mean,
makeup, you have your makeup line, right? How,
yeah, but
how's it doing?
more business,
More. Okay.
more business.
Do
And
you want to be,
I don't
Nats, do you
go
want
ahead.
to be very, very wealthy?
It depends on what kind of wealth it is, Tito Boy.
What kind of wealth do you want?
I happiness. I don't know, cause it's not. I don't know. I'm not into like material things. It doesn't. I know that it doesn't make me happy. Well, sometimes it depends, but not. I don't know. I just want
Not
to be happy.
excessive.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Yung iba nun, pwede mong ipadala sa akin.
Yeah. Sige, Tito Boy.
No, I just remember again when you were doing your moment, when you won Urian and you told me that I told you that you won, yata, or
Yeah.
something. I got it. Do you miss,
BBM po, Tito Boy.
I know, but do you miss acting? I mean, I know you're doing Absolute Marriage, your concert July 3, but do you miss, acting? Because you're one of the finest, you're one of the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I do, Tito Boy. I really do. But, this time around, I'm hoping that I get a project that, that is, I guess, a role that's challenging. Maybe, like, probably a serial killer or, I don't know, like a psychopath or a villain. Something different this time.
Right.
I'm just ready to explore it.
I was
You
about to
know?
ask you why a serial killer. Pero syempre, di ba, meron talaga tayo iniisip with everything that
Yeah,
we're watching now during the
because
pandemic.
I guess, Tito Boy, the reason probably why I love watching crime documentaries is because I love I guess nitpicking, like,
Okay.
and just trying to figure out what is going on in those people's heads.
Okay.
Like what makes them tick, what makes them like do what they do. It to me it's really interesting for some reason. I don't know why.
It is. It's fascinating. As an interviewer, you should be a director. As an interviewer, I love listening to people because I want to find out what makes them think the way they
Yes.
do,
Yeah.
especially when they think differently from me.
Yes.
So, therefore, it broadens my perspective about life. Di ba? Yung parang, ano kayang iniisip niya? I
Yeah, I'm
understand.
always like that.
So I know, I mean, malay natin, no, after July 3, after Absolute Madness, so many things can happen. Do we have another question, please? Aliza Naupan from Alabang. During this pandemic, ano yung regrets mo na sana nagawa mo?
Whew, during the pandemic, spent more time with my family
Right.
and go on trips.
Yun talagang nakakamiss, no?
Yun talaga yung nakakamiss, Tito Boy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Going
Oh,
on
lalo na
trips.
ikaw, naalala ko, there were times when Coldplay would have a concert in Asia and
I know.
your world
I
will
know.
stop.
Yeah. I went
Diba?
to Korea for that, Tito Boy.
I
For
know, I
Coldplay.
know, I know, I know. Okay, next question, please. Alexis Collins, what song from the album describes? I think we're talking about how do you feel now,
What
Nadine?
song? I
The
would
album
say
has the album got anything to do with Absolute Madness? We're talking about Wildest Dreams,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a question.
Yeah, I guess the song that would best describe where I'm at right now would be Dance with Danger, which is also my song. The number one track in the album. It's
Dance
just
with
Dance
Danger.
with Danger. So pretty much it's just me um ready for the world, ready for whatever is about to happen, and I'm allowing. And then there's a line there that says ascension is starting, you don't want to fight it. So, so many things are happening, so many shifts, so many new things, and just keep allowing.
I hear that. Great actors would talk about danger as a fuel to, let's say, what they do creatively. I remember Viola Davis again say, I dive in fear. I dive into that dangerous space because
Yes.
that's where magic happens.
Yes.
Di
Yes.
ba? You can't be too sure about everything, lalo na pag action or the moment you start your concert, the moment you're there, it's you and your magic. Di ba? That's truly, truly exciting. Ganda yun dance with your, what are you afraid of, Nads? Kinatatakutan mo talaga.
Nothing.
Oo. Not,
Nothing.
was it always that? You were never really afraid of anything.
No, I was afraid of losing people I love.
Yeah.
Uh, Death was hello, Tito Boy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yes, we can. We can hear you,
Okay.
Nads. Okay,
Sorry.
no
Hello.
problem. There, we can hear you.
Tito Boy, I think I might have to exit for a bit. Can you wait for me?
Okay,
Because
I
I
will.
can't hear you.
Huwag po kayong aalis, mga kaibigan, dahil Nadine is
All
just
right.
having technical problems,
Let
but
me
she will
just
be back. Can you
reset,
hear me
Tito Boy.
now?
I'll be back.
Yes, you will be back. Okay. Nagpaalam lamang panandalian si Nadine. She got into some technical problems, but she will be back. We were talking about being afraid. We were talking about the album, and she's going to do that concert, Absolute Madness, July 3. And I really look forward to Nadine doing another movie. I remember when you were doing your moment, alam niyo po, I got wind of the fact that you won the Best Actress trophy, so I was the one who broke the news story. But anyway, go ahead. We didn't actually lose you. We could hear you. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. But I couldn't hear everyone.
I know, I
Sorry.
know, I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Um, where were we, Tito Boy?
We were talking
Uh,
about what? Afraid? We're
oh,
talking about,
yeah. Before I was really afraid of losing people.
yes, right.
Losing people that I love, and my concept of or like how I saw death was totally different. Um, but then after my brother's death, like I learned a lot about it, and then just wasn't scared of death anymore and losing people and just understanding that the loved ones that are passing on, they're still here,
Yeah.
they're still a part of us, and they will never go away.
Nads, I'm looking at you now. You're so pretty. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
But I also remember our friend James. What is the best thing? I mean, James is a very quiet person.
Yeah,
You're one of the people who knows him best. What is
yeah.
the best thing about James Reid?
His curiosity.
Oh,
He's he he has a lot of questions, and he's even because he would tell me before that even as a kid, he would have a lot of questions. He would ask teachers, and the teachers wouldn't know how to answer his questions. And yeah, that's just one thing that I really love about him. He just never stops learning. Also,
again, the lesson there is sa mga nanonood ho sa atin, it's okay and it's good to ask questions, which means that you're interested.
yeah,
Because when you ask a question, the answer makes you bigger, broader, brighter, yung karagdagang kaalaman baga. But with James, what I observe about James is that he's very inquisitive, but uh, he's a very good listener. He
yeah,
listens. Di ba?
yeah,
He really listens.
yeah.
Anyway, what are you most grateful for, Nadine?
Uh, ooh, I guess, Tito Boy, just to make it simple, being here, um, being where I am now, in the what do you call it? In the mindset that I have now, because I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, and I'm grateful for all the things that happened in my life. Because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be who I am now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Just seize the moment. Again, maraming nanonood sa atin, marami ang nagmamasid, everybody is eavesdropping on this conversation. And of course, I'm not going to ask because this is the elephant in the room. Lumabas po ang balita tungkol sa kaso ni Nadine. And would you like to make a comment?
Well, Tito Boy, I trust naman that, that Attorney Lorna can help me out on this, and I'm just leaving it up to them.
Okay. I moved a step further. Ang ginawa ko po mga kaibigan, I called Attorney Kapunan and I got the statement kasi lumabas po yung resolution ng ng korte ngayong or some days ago, and then it came out today in the news. So Attorney Lorna Kapunan issued this statement. I don't know if I'm reading this for the first time, but I got it just before we started our conversation. I'd like to share this, Nadine, para klaro sa kanila. The court denied Viva's claims for attachment and garnishment of Nadine's hard-earned earnings and her bank accounts. This is a victory for Nadine. The court, however, granted Viva a status quo order in consideration of rights of third parties prior to Nadine's termination of its contract with Viva. But the issue of whether there is still a valid contract between Viva and Nadine was not decided by the court, which said that this issue is subject to arbitration proceedings and not the court. Nadine has fulfilled and continues to respect the prior contracts with third parties even after she terminated the agreement with Viva for various material breach committed by Viva. We are filing a motion for a reconsideration of the status quo order. Nadine will continue with her concert and pending contracts, but Viva will be claiming their 40% commission. Viva will also be notified of future engagements of Nadine pending the arbitrable issue of her termination of the Viva Agency Management Agreement. Sending your resolution. Thanks. I requested for the statement from Attorney Lorna Kapunan because Nadine cannot talk about this any further. Yun lamang, para klaro. Ito yung mga sinasabi natin ng mga it is what it is, sabi nga ni Nadine. No, because I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions from our viewers on this one. I decided to get a statement from Attorney Lorna Kapunan. Yun ang ating ibig sabihin. Okay, so once again, Nadine, invite everybody to the concert.
Yeah, thank you, Tito Boy. Guys, Absolute Madness is happening on July 3rd. I can't wait for you all to see it. Thank you so much to everyone who already purchased tickets. VVIP is already sold out. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm just really excited. And Tito Boy, I hope you can watch it as well. Yeah, I'm just ready to show the world like who Nadine Lustre really is. It's exciting.
I am going to watch it.
Yes,
and that's
please.
exciting. Ang nakaka-excite, may monologue, may sayaw, it's theater, it's the concert stage, it's a digital concert. So ang dami-dami. Teaser pa lang pinagkaguluhan na. So congratulations.
Thank you, Tito Boy.
There are no more questions. I'm sorry po sa ating mga manunood. But I'd like to end this conversation by saying thank you. Thank you to you, Nads. I truly honor and I truly value your friendship. And our random text messages, you're checking on me means a lot. Lalo na ngayon, di ba, sa panahon ito, when you read messages to friends, and it just totally lifts you up. And then you kept on talking about the shifts and the pivots, that happened during the pandemic. I heard them all. At sana'y marami tayong, mga takeaway doon. But I'd like to end this interview with my direct line questions. Fun lang. Hindi fast.
Okay.
You have a direct line to God. What would you tell him?
What? Sorry, Tito Boy?
You have a direct line to God. What would you tell him?
Thank you.
You have a direct line to your brother Isaiah in heaven. What would you say to him?
I miss you.
You have a direct line to the moon. What would you like to see there?
To the moon. What would I like to see? Oh, the moon.
I mean, do you
Up
want to see
close.
any? You want to
Up
see anybody
close.
there?
To the moon. I'd probably see my brother there.
Okay. You have a direct line to the heart of Malcolm Reid, James' father, who's a friend of mine. What would you
Yeah.
say to Malcolm?
I promise we'll go coffee. We'll have a coffee date soon. Because he keeps asking me, like I'm also like really good friends with Tito Malcolm, like crazy as it is, but it's we have like coffee and dinner and lunch, and he's just fun to hang out with. And I'm sure you know that too, Tito
I
Boy.
do, I do. But
Yeah.
what would you say to him? What would you say to him now that I'm asking?
Yeah, I promise we'll have the coffee soon.
Okay, all right, that's the promise. Direct
Yeah.
line to direct line to your future child, whether adopted or biological. What would you
Oh,
reveal? What would you reveal to your child?
what would I reveal to my child? I guess, um, what am I gonna say, Tito Boy? Ang hirap naman nito.
Yeah, sige lang, okay lang. It's fun
Out
lang.
of guard ako, ah.
Oo.
Um, who, live life to the fullest.
That mommy lived life to the
Live
fullest.
life to the fullest.
You have a direct line to your heart. What piece of advice would you say to your puso?
To my heart, it's not more of an advice, Tito Boy, but it's more of a message. Is that thank you because you've been so strong, and thank you because you're so big that you allow yourself to, you show your love to everyone else.
You have a direct line to James Reid's heart. What would you say to him?
Thank you for everything. Like
That's right.
I really appreciate him.
Yeah, and I'm sure he does too.
Yeah.
He does appreciate you too.
Yeah.
I wish you happiness. Nads, maraming salamat and God
Thanks,
bless
Tito
you.
Boy.
Stay
Thank you
healthy,
so much.
and we will all support your concert, July 3, Absolute Madness, directed
Yes.
by Menchu Lauchenko Yulo.
Yes.
Maraming salamat. And of course,
Thank you, Tito Boy.
Careless Music is behind
Yes.
it, and many others, starring the one and the only Nadine Lustre. Thank you.
Thanks, Tito Boy. Thanks, everyone. Good night, Tito
Bye-bye,
Boy.
Nadine. Salamat. Salamat. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Ayan po, maraming salamat for eavesdropping. Maraming salamat. And thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being part of our conversation. Stay healthy, safe, and live and love in abundance. Continue to pray and make your nanays proud. Once again, this is the interviewer, Boy Abunda. Goodbye for now. Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.